missed it by how much? This is the channel that tests sports hypotheses by using computer game engines. We're currently playing as the Dodgers manager during the 1990 regular baseball season, attempting to win the National League West Division without Alfredo Griffin as our shortstop. We are currently 53-36 in first place over San Francisco by 3 games, pending the game to be played on July 20th. And I wanted to discuss overly attentive intentional walks. That's been the theme of the last few games. I briefly mentioned on the last video about a game that we played in Chicago that Tim Belcher pitched. I wanted to go over the box score with you and show you what I mean by paying way too much attention to walking certain players and not paying attention to the rest of the lineup. In this game, Andre Dawson was the only real threat that I felt could really lose this game. Ryan Sandberg, for some reason, was not playing. And right behind him was Villanueva, and no offense to him, and I was correct in that sense that he wasn't going to beat me. So I purposely walked Andre Dawson 2 times in that game to move on. And I want to talk about the results of doing that. So the first time I did it was in the first inning. Belcher had gotten the first 2 outs, and it was still scoreless at that point, and I did not want Dawson to get them on the right track, so I walked him, and Villanueva flew out. So mission accomplished there. The next time Dawson came out, it was the top of the inning, and he singled, but then was thrown out stealing, so not much there. And the Dodgers led 2-0. Dawson started off the 7th and singled and was caught stealing yet again. So at that point, the strategy had worked. So we got to the 8th. The bottom of the 8th, the Dodgers were leading 3-0. And here's what happened. Wynn walked. Wilkerson struck out. We're at the bottom of the lineup for the Cubs. Clark pinch hit, and he singled. So you have 2 on, 1 out, and Mark Grace up, and he hit a single, and the bases are now loaded. You're 2 batters away from Dawson. Smith grounded to first, forced Grace at second. Wynn scored, so you had runners at first and third, 2 out in the inning, and you had a 2-run lead. 1 run had scored on the ground out. And here's Dawson. And I walked him again. Brought in Searage, and he got Villanueva. So I thought strategy worked great. The Dodgers added a run in the 9th, and they won easily 4-1. And sometimes doing something like that gives you confidence to reuse it. And perhaps that's not necessarily the best move. The next game, the Dodgers lost, even though they made it close in the 9th. That wasn't. Wilson pitched really well, and the Cubs won, and it split the series. Then we went to St. Louis. This was a game the Dodgers looked on paper to win. Jose De Leon with a really bad ERA over 6 against Neidlinger, who's not much better, but pitched well. 4 2/3. Didn't give up any runs. That doesn't tell the whole tale. The Dodgers were up 4-0 in the 7th. And this batting lineup has not done well this season for the Cardinals. They're one of the worst teams, if not the worst, in the league. And they only have one threat who I had looked at in the stats previous to the series that had been playing really well, and that was Pedro Guerrero, the former Dodger. So I decided I was going to walk him 4 times to use my strategy and expect all these other guys to beat me. And it worked. Here he is, grounded. I'm sorry, a runner on second with 2 outs. We walked him, and then Okendo grounded out. Saved a scoring threat right there. And here, with 1 runner on, walked him again, and Okendo grounded out. And you keep playing with fire like that, eventually it's going to burn you. Yeah, there's a chance Guerrero could hit a double or a home run. But those odds are so low as to really happening versus the player behind Guerrero eventually getting a hit, and you've set them up to the 5th. Still up 2-0. 2 out. McGee lines a single. Thompson grounds to the pitcher, but he's safe. And so this is where I walk Guerrero and load the bases and bring in Searage again. And he gets Okendo to ground out the 2nd. Then the Dodgers score 2 more runs, and I believe an Eddie Murray home run. Yep, Murray 2-run home run. And we lead 4-0. So I'm still feeling my oats, thinking this is awesome. It's working great. Go to the bottom of the 7th. Searage still in. Been pitching a lot. Doing great. Strikes out Wilson. 1 out. Coleman bunts for a single, but McGee strikes out. 2 outs. Runner on first. 2 batters from Guerrero. Thompson grounds a single up the middle. Coleman moves to third. First and third. 2 out. You're up 4-0. Pitch to Guerrero here. He hits a 3-run home run. You pat him on the back. Say, good job. But I didn't do that, and the Cardinals ended up scoring 3, and we barely held them to 3. Here's what happened. Guerrero gets intentionally walked. So the bases are loaded again. But Searage is really low on, he's gone over his pitching. So we go to the other left-hander because Okendo can't hit left-handers. And he doesn't do it here either. But he does walk. When you bring in new pitchers, you never know. Maybe if Searage had a longer shelf life, get out of it again. But this time we didn't. We brought in Walsh. He walks in a run. So it's 4-1. Bases are still loaded. Bring in Holmes against Pagnozzi because he can get right-handers out. But not this time. Base hit. 2 score. It's 4-3. Okay? Okendo on second. Pagnozzi now at first. Ozzie Smith up. Ozzie Smith with a base hit, which he's not going to hit a home run, but a base hit, possible. Grounds to second, and we get out of it, only giving up 3. Fortunately, the rest of the way, the bullpen does a good enough job. Guerrero does end up coming up one more time, and this time with a runner on, and could have won the game. Could have won the game, and we had to pitch to him. I thought I'd learned my lesson there, and he flew out to deep center. So a lot of mixed messages there, but I think the main one that I got out of that was don't over intentionally walk somebody just because. Let the game flow, for lack of a better term, and see how things work out. Then towards the end of the game, if this guy is still hitting really well, then you intentionally walk him and deal with the next person. But you can't just, Barry Bonds in 2004, every single at bat, walk him. So I had gotten a little too acceptant of using that button to try to get out of trouble, and it just got me in more trouble than I really needed. The next game in the St. Louis 3-game series was against John Tudor, And it was a pitching duel, at least I thought it would be, between John Tudor and our ace, Ramon Martinez. And the runs, the big part of the game was the first inning. Brooks, we followed the numbers and not batted Eddie Murray leadoff against lefties. The blazing hot Hubie Brooks doubles, Daniels walks, Sharperson doubles, scores 1. Scioscia walks, bases loaded. Murray grounds out, scores another run. Samuel sacrifice fly, scores a 3rd run. To get 3 runs off of Tudor, especially in the first inning, really helped. Get to the 5th. Ozzie Smith stole 2nd and 3rd. And that got a run in on a ground out, or a single, excuse me. Made it 3-1. In the 6th, Guerrero doubles. Pass ball gets in the 3rd. Oquendo ground out, makes it 3-2. In the 8th, the Dodgers get some insurance. Ramon Martinez starts it off with a single. Brooks flies deep to right field. Martinez tags and moves from first to second, a big play. Javier pinch runs for him from there. Daniels walks, Sharperson doubles. Javier scores, Daniels moves to 3rd. Scioscia intentionally walks, Murray hits a sacrifice fly. Makes it 5-2. Beyond a double, that's pretty much it. Dodgers win 5-2. I don't believe I overly walked there. Yeah, no walks in that game. Although that was a tough game to win, they did threaten, and thought that would have been a save. Well, it was for Walsh. He got his 4th save. But the big game that we just played against St. Louis was against Ken Daly, who also another terrible starter like De Leon for the Cardinals this season. Pitched above his head and probably should have won this game. Both teams not with a lot of hits, 5 hits here until the 9th inning. The Dodgers didn't have many there as well. Ken Daly, or excuse me, I keep saying Daly. It's Joe McGrain, who's not pitched well this season. His ERA is over 4. He pitched 8 solid innings, 1 earned run, and was ahead 4-1. And the bullpen couldn't hold it for him in the 9th. It wasn't even earlier than that they fell apart. It was the 9th. Niedenfuer, Tewksbury came in, blew the save, and Daly finished it off. And I'll show you, the Dodgers did not, we're going to look at how many hits the Dodgers had in the 9th versus their total of 12, okay? And I'll show you why they were not. They were just, I had given up on this game. I didn't think they were going to have a chance. Niedenfuer comes in. Murray flies out. Harris grounds out. And then Wetland, who pitched, had given up. Well, he pitched okay in the 8th. But, he did not deserve to win this game. Either way, Javier pinch hit for him, and he had a solo inside the park home run. When he got to 3rd, the box came up and it said 90% chance. And given 2 outs and down 4-1, I said, let's go for it. And it worked. So we're 4-2. Still 2 outs in the inning. Tewksbury comes in to finish us off, but he doesn't. So there's 1 hit so far in the inning. Sharperson lines a single. Brooks hits a 2-run home run and ties the game. So now we're at 3 hits in the inning. And they bring Daly in now that it's a 4-4 tie. Daniels walks. Vizcaino lines a single. That's the 4th hit of the inning. Samuel grounds a single. The 5th hit of the inning. All with 2 out before Scioscia flies out. The Dodgers take the lead there, 5-4. Cruz comes in, finishes the job. We bring in some defensive replacements. Just 5 hits in the 9th inning. Plates 4 runs, and the Dodgers win after scoring 1 run the previous 8 innings. Mike Morgan, not great, but Howell pitched 2 walks. Wetland had 3 walks. I mean, there was many times where he was teetering on the edge that I was like, well, we're just going to pitch him. We're down 4-1. We're not coming back from this. And the Cardinals bullpen failed. That's the only way I can look at it. So we sweep, even though I thought that was out of the realm of possibility going into the 9th. So the Dodgers are at 53-36. Currently 3 games over the Giants and 5.5 over Houston, going into a 3-game series against Pittsburgh. And then a homestand. They get to finally come back home and face San Francisco to start off. One other thing that happened in the St. Louis game is that in the first inning, I believe of the second game against St. Louis, Jose Gonzalez was injured. He's out until the 30th. So even though Kirk Gibson is now back, as of this game that we're going to play next, Jose Gonzalez leaves. So again, the old one guy comes back, the other guy gets hurt. Fortunately, Cal Daniels has not been hurt yet, nor has Eddie Murray or Mike Scioscia. Eddie Murray was hurt for part of a game, that was it. And pitching-wise, we've only lost Neidlinger for a short stint. But still debating on this game whether or not it's fair to just go full season injuries are possible, because there are just so many injuries. I don't know how this compares to the real season. Anyhow, that catches you up on how the Dodgers are doing. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. And don't intentionally walk anybody till late in the game. We'll see you next time on Missed It by How Much. Thanks for watching.